I hope you got your popcorn ready because this is going to be a long one. Make sure to comment down below and let me know your thoughts on the set and what you are most excited for. Welcome back to the Budget Archive. My name is Mitch. We finally have Asphodel Paradise released in full on the index. Now, I know a lot of people at Worlds were opening the set, having a look at all the cards and everything over the weekend. I was not there. I'm afraid I couldn't actually go to any event, even the Quicksilver Cup that was in Auckland this weekend. So I actually haven't seen anything to do with the spoilers. I have seen the odd thing here and there. Of course, we had spoiler season, then I've been sent a couple cards where people have questions. But overall, I haven't seen a majority of these cards, so I just want to go through the set, have a look at it, have a talk about the cards, and just give you guys my honest opinion and my first look and reaction to these cards. So, of course, we've got the spirits. They're a nice looking spirit, got a good automaton look to them. Of course, we've got the Dante and the Lorraine lines. We've already seen these. They're interesting champions. Of course, Dante being all about power, making big spells, doing big damage. Seems like a cool little thing, but I think Rai is still probably the better of the mages. Dante could do some stuff if he can get a good balance of the damage to heal ratio, because of course Rai's got all the damage but very little heal. So Dante might be one of those ones where you're able to actually balance it enough to where you aren't going to die super fast while being able to kill super fast as well. Of course, Lorraine wanting a warrior. I would have liked to see a new version of Lorraine out there, but I guess it is probably fits in with her overall game plan very well and is probably one of those main champions that everyone wants to see. And of course, having the CSR version now just means we don't pay ridiculous prices for CURs for her. And into the lineage, it's decent. I do think Arcane has primarily been the type of level gain element, so I like that they've kind of added that into her, but it does feel like they're kind of forcing the mage side of Arcane into a warrior type champion. So we'll see how it goes. Of course, no one's really played around with it yet. I haven't even had time to look into all the support cards in the set, so there might be something in there that actually makes it really good. Battery Core, haven't seen this one yet. Habit Banish it. Oh, Core X, sorry. Battery Core X, Banish Battery Core X. Target ally's next attack against champion this turn gets +2 for each Valtech item linked to that ally. Okay, yep. So there is quite a few Valtech items from what I've seen, and if you're able to link them all to a single ally that without it getting removed, so the main thing that I feel is going to be the thing with this deck is that if you get a lot of Valtech items onto a single ally, and your opponent's able to just easily remove it straight away, it's going to feel a bit bad because you're going to lose a lot of those items as well as the ally itself. But if they're not able to remove it, this can actually just result in you being able to one-hit KO your deck. Or even if you're running something like a Wind Wake Up with Second Wind, then this gives you a chance to actually deal maybe +4, +6 onto an ally, and they'll be able to wake it up and kill that way. Cell Reactor, sacrifice it, put a buff counter on target automaton ally. It's just Mercurial Heart, isn't it? Like, Mercurial Heart's on enter, so I guess this means you can bring it out earlier in the game and let it sit there until you need it. But I feel like there are probably better Regalia to play in automaton decks than this. Discharger, banish it, remove 4 static counters from target object. I mean, maybe if static counters become a massive thing where you really want to be able to stop your opponent from having them on their items, or if maybe static counters end up being a bad thing for you personally if your opponent's able to put them on you for some reason, I'm not too sure. Haven't seen anything like that yet. But yeah, again, this just feels like a filler Regalia. Tech module, as long as you control 2 or more resonated allies, this costs 1 less materialize. Yeah. Tap 1, glimpse it, the next harmony or melody you activate turn costs 1 less to activate. Yeah, I mean, there are some good ally-based harmony melodies that allow you to just protect your allies. Favorable Winds being the most common one. I don't know. If Resonate allies end up being good, this could be good, but overall, it might just be one of those ones that some decks want to play just to get the glimpse, and if Harmony Melodies become big. But at the moment, I think it's a little bit underpowered. If it was a 0 cost Regalia, it'd definitely be great. But the fact you have to have 2 Resonate allies on the field first does give it that little bit of a weak spot. Revoke a Bell. Oh, yep, I've seen this. Banish target card from graveyard until it leaves the field. It can't wake up, so it's effectively just bring it out, get rid of a single card. Again, I just feel like there's better options. Durable and wind. All the options I'm thinking of are pretty much just wind, so I guess it is a good card to have for fire and water decks, but of course there are other options out there that might be better. How Scavenging Raccoon might just be better than this, because it does take up a whole spot just to get rid of one card. Seed of Empowerment. At the beginning of your recollection phase, put a refinement counter on it. Banish it and power X with X amount of refinement counters on it. Yep. Interesting. This could be played in a Merlin deck as well. You can just bring this out early game, play through the late game, get level 3 Merlin, start ticking up your levels, have this just thing on the field, gaining counters over and over and over again, and being able to just crack this with 6 or 7 counters on it, make a fireball do 15 damage or something would be pretty insane. There's also other ways of using it, just being able to bring it out and get 1 or 2 counters on it in order to activate a class level bonus 3 or 4 or 5 of Dante. This could be a good card, especially in Dante. Signal Tech X Ultra. Tap it, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may reveal an ally from among them and put it into your hand. The rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. If the card was put into your hand this way, sacrifice it. There's the part I was looking for. I thought it was about the most broken card in the game. Not quite. Okay, it's a good card. I'll give it that. It does effectively cost you 1. You've got Flame Memory, you just use that, bring it out for free. You have to activate it, search your deck for an ally from top 3. The good thing about this is it isn't a banished effect, so you can just do this over and over again if you whiff. It's not like you activate this, don't see one in the top 3, you've lost this and you just out a card. This is going to be pretty good. I would almost say this could be good in one of those level 3 ally decks. Like Lorraine, but I think Lorraine doesn't have a lot of room in its Regalia deck, really. Just to give you that chance to actually get to those real powerful allies once you get to level 3. Hand Synchron. Now, I have seen the line of these. There's a water one and a wind one. They're good. I think the fire one is probably one of the better ones if you're running into wind. The problem with these are they're heavily situated against a specific element. So if the meta is heavily revolved around one single element, these could be really good. However, if you are running into a deck that isn't the element that you're protected against, then it's just going to feel bad. It's going to be a dead card in your material deck. There could be a world where you run all 3 of these in a deck. You run Fluffy Shopkeeps, and you basically look at what your opponent's playing, play the Fluffy out, get rid of the 2 that you don't need, and then you've still got that 3rd one there to bring out in order to counter your opponents. The Fan Synchron one is that can't be suppressed, main thing playing into wind. Whenever an opponent on enter ability of a non-champion object you don't control triggers, that object deals 1 damage to its controller. If it's wind element, it deals 3 damage to the controller's champion instead. Whenever an on-enter ability of a champion, non-champion object you don't control triggers. Remember that, it's trigger. Effectively, think of Windmill Engineer. It is on-enter do this if it's imbued. That still triggers, it just checks the requirement for having been imbued, sees that it hasn't been imbued, and then just resolves giving you nothing. It still triggers, it still gives you 3 damage to your opponent, I'm pretty sure. I have to double check that ruling, but I feel like that is how it's going to work. On top of that, everything dealing 1 damage to the champion is fairly powerful. 3 is just going to kill them super fast, especially in decks that run a lot of imbue things, as we've seen from Wind Lorraine and Worlds. But there are other decks out there that use Law on enter effects that this could be really good just to bring out early on in Pfizer or aggro fire decks, just to give you that little bit of extra damage or the interaction piece to stop your opponent from being able to actually run away with value, since they're going to have to really think about what they're playing out. Flame Tech Manual. Class bonus, tap it, banish a fire card from your graveyard, Cascade. 1 dealing 2 damage to target champion, 2 being in power, and 3 sacrifice and power 2 and draw a card in memory. We love ways to actually get extra card advantage. This is a 0 cost, it's not too bad. Mage, class bonus, of course, so you're limited to what champions you can run it in. Dealing 2 damage to target champion, it's not bad. I mean, it could be some type of Dante aggro deck that runs this, just deal 2 damage, and power 2, allowing you to then play one of your real powerful fire level 5 plus cards that there are in the deck on the second turn this is out, and then being able to sacrifice it to get that power again, play another one of those cards, and get another memory straight away. Of course, you can just activate this in the recollection phase, so you've then got that power going into your turn, as well as that card back in your hand. You do have to have fire cards in your graveyard, so it's not going to be a consistent thing unless you're running a high fire count deck, in which case this could be really good. Aquatech Blade X. As long as you control a Valtech item, this card costs 1 less to materialize. Tap it, banish a card floating memory from your graveyard, cascade. 1 being it gets X plus 3 until end of turn. There are so many cards with X in the name where I'm just reading X as X being a cost. I apologize. Is this blade just gets plus 3 until end of turn. The second cascade being recover 4, and then the third one being plus 5 until end of turn and recover 5. Wow. Yes, you have to banish cards with flow memory, but this is definitely a card that's made for Mordred, I believe. It's going to be pretty powerful. If you've got a Valtech item, which generally if your deck's revolving around Valtech items, you're going to have those. It's not going to be hard. Getting rid of floating memories can be very easy in Mordred, of course, because it gives itself floating memory to all the cards in your graveyard. And then just being able to get more and more damage to this could be pretty good. I do think it's going to be one of those SRs that's not going to be worth a lot because it's only played in one deck. But it could do something in those decks, given a chance. This is one of the other ones, other synchrons. Extinguishing. I can't English today. Whenever your champion is dealt non-combat damage by a fire element source, put a refinement counter on this. Sacrifice it, recover 2 plus X amount of refinement counters on it. They can just deal 1 little ping to you. Then you sacrifice this and recover 3 pretty easily. I don't see this being a bad card against fire decks, especially those fire aggro decks where they're doing lots of 1 ping, such as Zaku. This is probably a perfect counter to Zaku, because every time they ping you for 1, you counter on this. And then when you're ready, or when they go for that kill line, maybe go hands down to try and kill you, you can then sacrifice this, gain all that life back, and then be out of kill's reach. Evaporation Synchron. Whenever an water element card with flow memory is banished from an opponent's graveyard, put a refinement counter on it. While paying for a memory cost, you may remove any mana refinement counters from Evaporation Synchron. Each counter removed this way pays 1 of that cost. Wow. That's pretty good. Effectively, you're turning your water opponent's floating memory into your own cost. So it's... yeah, memory cost is pretty powerful. This is going to be a good card. This is probably one of those ones where I look at it and go, maybe it is worth to run all the 3 Synchrons with that Fluffy, because being able to bring this out against a water deck that's got tons of floating memory is just going to give you so much advantage. In fact, you can just keep redoing this. You don't have to banish this as part of the cost of using those counters. Just whenever you feel like it, you can remove the refinement counters, pay the memory cost instead, and it's going to give you so much value throughout the game. Wind Surge Emitter. Put a buff pay 4, tap it, put a buff counter on target ally without a buff counter on it. As long as you've activated a Neon spell this turn, Lily costs 4 less to activate. Yep, so there's definitely a Dante card. Could be good in an ally Dante deck if there is a lot of support for that. We'll see that in a bit. But overall, it doesn't seem like a bad card. It seems like it could be good, especially if you're trying to play a lot of weaker allies out and then just want to buff them up. Moving on to our norm cards now, we've got a Neon Reputation. My English is not good today, I apologize. Each player discards all but 7 cards from their hand and memory. If you control a leasing object, each opponent discards an additional card. I did see this in the spoilers. It's okay, I guess, against something like Wind Lorraine, as we've seen at Worlds. I'm going to keep repeating that because it's the most common deck currently. This is good because it just keeps their hand down. That makes them have to rebuild their influence over and over again. But a lot of decks in the game do not go over 7 influence. And if they do, it's like 10 influence max. And they're generally able to do some sort of tricks where they're able to play things out to get down to that 7 pretty easily. Yes, in the right moment, this could cause problems for your opponent, but a lot of the time, because your opponent is choosing what they're discarding, it's not really going to hurt them that much. Whereas something like a Regal Inquisition can really cause them to have problems later in the game. One cost in the end ward, prevent the next 2 damage to be dealt to your target unit this turn. Class bonus level 3+, draw a card. We've seen a lot of 1 cost prevent 2 effects in the game. Being able to draw a card using this is pretty good. I don't know if it's going to be really playing a lot of decks though, just because that 2 prevention isn't really that great. There's a lot of better options out there, and there are better options allowing you to draw cards as well. Nail Spell, another reprint of Nail Spell. I mean, it's a decent card, why not? Anointed Purifier, just Mystic Purifier upgraded, I guess. Anointed Purifier enters the field with 2 additional buff counters on it. Tap it, remove 2 buff counters from Anointed Purifier, destroy target Fantasia. I guess the 3 cost 1/2 enters as a 3/4. Tax for 3, or just tap it to remove buff counters and destroy Fantasia. I mean, it's got some good versatility to it. It is we can't go out of the fact that it is a 3/4 ally, so you're just going to be coming out with 3/4 for 3 and attacking it. That's a pretty good stat line in this game. Yes, being able to remove 2 buff counters to destroy target Fantasia is good as well. I just have a problem with it being exalted. If this wasn't exalted, it'd be broken, so I understand it being exalted. But I think if there are a lot of Fantasias in the game that are causing you problems, you probably want to be able to get rid of them before you go level 3 rather than after. 2 cost another round, recover 1 plus X, which is twice the amount of cards named another round in all graveyards. Then draw a card in your memory. I mean, I guess if you're playing against someone that's also got no rounds in their deck, you're kind of just buffing each other up, and it comes down to who plays it last, gets the better deal. We haven't seen anything that really counts all copies before, so this is an interesting way to go about it. Being able to recover effectively 1 the first time, then 3, and then probably 2, 4, so then 5. Yeah, it's okay. I guess if it was fast speed, it'd be pretty good. Yeah, I think fast speed would make the card good, but not broken. Slow speed feels a little bit bad. I think any card that requires you to play it at slow speed just to recover a little bit doesn't feel too great. Banner Knight. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a card that can get reprinted. It used to be a great card. I think if Crystal Empowerment came back, it'd be great again, but maybe in the new Lorraine, it could be good if we're able to actually get some way to buff our level up without losing cards or having to level up consistently. 2 costs, Bedlam Burr. 2, tap it, Cascade. 1, 2, and 3 all being Summon Power Cell token. And 4, sacrifice it, draw a card. Because this is a siegeable domain, it's got 6 durability on it, it's going to be able to get removed pretty quick. Yes, it does mean you're not taking 6 damage to face. I don't know if this is going to be good enough though, unless you are playing a deck that requires you to summon a ton of power cells very fast. 2 costs, slow speed, be able to tune, put a buff counter target ally. Again, I'd just rather play Tune the Winds. Yes, this is norm, Tune the Winds is wind. But, yeah, I don't know. Putting buff counter target ally is good, but again, past speed would have made this a great card. Right now, looking at it, it feels like it needs something else. Slow speed, 2 cost, just to put 1 buff counter on it. There are allies out there that are 2 cost with a ton of extra effects. Let's just look at Banner Knight. It's a 1/3 for 2. That gives buff to your other allies as long as you're level 2+ and warrior. I'd rather play a Banner Knight in a deck than I would be able to tune at this point. I just realized that my camera's probably been covering a couple of the cards on the right. Apologies. Whittingham Road. As long as each player has 4 or less cards in their material deck, it gets +3/+3. 4 cost, 1, 2. I really wish this was just as long as your opponent has 4 or less, because a lot of the time allied decks aren't going through their material decks as fast as what something like a turbo, once again, when Lorraine deck would be. However, this could be pretty good. It ends up as a 4/5, which is very hard to remove in this game effectively. And if you end up adding a ton of stuff to it with the Valtech items, this could be very powerful. We'll see how that goes, though. It's one of those ones where I don't quite see it being good enough because it is 1/2 stat line. If this was a 2/3 that gets +2/+2, it'd probably be worthwhile playing. But the 4 cost being a 1/2 early in the game will hurt quite a lot of the time. 2 costs, break the line, activate the card only during your combat phase. You may banish a warrior champion card from your material deck if you do in the combat phase. Like, I guess it's another way to Song of Frost in decks that aren't playing playing water. There are other cards that do this, but I don't know. It could be good in the right deck. It could be good. It might be a 2 of in a deck that just wants to be able to do a ton of control aspects, be able to play the game and not really care about the cards in their material deck. And something I'm gonna keep repeating this deck over and over at the moment because for some reason it just keeps coming to mind. Wind Lorraine. This is one of those ones where it could allow you to get that Drawn Blade into your banishment early on if you can't find that fluffy shopkeep, and then also be able to stop you from taking damage from an attack. Business card 2 cost. As it enters the field, choose an ally name. Pay to sacrifice it. Scavenge X for an ally with the chosen name. If you control a phone item, scavenge 20 for an ally with the chosen name instead. This is good. I think this works really well in a deck that runs likes of Fairy Whispers or Scout the Land. Something that you're able to look at the top of your deck first and know that that item's going to be there, the ally's going to be there, and then paying the 2 to do this. You don't really want to be doing this off the bat, just hoping that it's going to be there. But it does effectively go neutral and allows you to just put this in the field earlier on, then save it. Something like Crux decks that want to go for that Ghost of Pendragon, you could play this early game, name Ghost of Pendragon, and then later in the game, after they've looked at the top of the deck, sacrifice it, draw that Ghost of Pendragon into your hand, and then play it out straight away. Bygone Days. 2 cost at the beginning of recollection phase, Cascade. Recover 2, recover 1. Each player chooses an ally they control and returns it to its owner's memory. Sacrifice this. I mean, I guess in a deck that you're not really caring about allies, maybe something like a Wind Arasana, where you're able to just recover a little bit over a couple of turns, and then your opponent's forced to put a card back in their memory. There are going to be a lot of cards. Again, with Crux, if your opponent has a Ghost Pendragon on the field, you probably don't want to have this out because it's just allowed them to put it back in their memory and play it out the next turn just to draw more cards. So it could be good, but ultimately it just probably is going to hurt you more often than it's actually going to help you, especially because your opponent gets to see it on the field and gets to prepare for it when it's going to activate. Camille, Basket Abundance. 3 cost 1/2. So many 3 cost 1/2s. On attack, you may put a non-advanced element Valtech item card with ally link from your hand or memory onto the field linked to Camille. Then if Camille is linked to 3 or more objects, draw a card in your memory. On leave, put the items that were linked to Camille into your memory. We have seen this already. This was a spoiler. I believe this actually has a CSR version. I'm going to risk looking into this. Let's see if it has a CSR version. It does. Yes, we have already seen this. Now if I go back, it's going to reload the whole thing, isn't it? Yep. I apologize. Let's go back down here. Here we go. Yeah. 1/2 ally, which I don't like, but I know there are a lot of Valtech items in this game that are going to be able to buff this up and make it actually a very powerful creature. And being able to play this down the field, even then follow it up with a couple of Valtech items, attack, putting that third one straight onto it, drawing a card into memory, and then attacking for a ton. makes it really good. And then being able to on leave, put the items that would link to it back into your memory, gives you that whole influence back. Over the course of 3 or 4 turns, if you put 4 or 5 Valtech items on this, and then this gets removed from the field in any way, suddenly you've then got 4 or 5 influence back into your hand, and you're able to play a ton of stuff out straight away. Cell production, 3 cost, summon 2 power cell tokens, rested. Again, we could see some Overlord decks coming back. This is probably the perfect card the Overlord decks wanted. Being able to pay 3 for this, summon 2 power tokens straight away, go into a backup charger, pay the 3, draw a card in memory, get that 3rd power cell, go into your turn, play something else out to give you a 4th power cell, and then be able to level up, go into your Overlord straight away. Apologies. And then be able to just cause real massive problems with your opponent. Could be good. Could be fun. Channel Tech Charm S. I need to draw a card in memory, sacrifice it, and power 2. Class bonus. Yeah. I have no problem with this. Seems pretty good. It's effectively a Valtech item version of Mnemonic Charm. This is mage as well. You can effectively play Mnemonic Charm as well as this in the same deck. It could be scary for likes of Rye, especially Wind Rye, giving you that extra chance to empower throughout the deck and just build consistency. Like Junk was saying, this 5 cost 2 less to activate for each raccoon ally you control. Banish up to 1 target card from graveyard and draw a card in memory. I have a mate who plays raccoons and loves raccoons. He hasn't actually played it recently though. But this is the type of card I feel like he's going to be wanting. Convergent Beam, 2 cost fast speed, deal 1 damage to target unit. If you control a fractal object, deal 3 damage to that unit instead. Could be good in fractals. Could be good. Yeah, I mean, 2 cost, fast speed, 3 damage. Nothing else. I mean, it's one of those ones where there are probably better options to play, especially in fractals decks, but could be something for a budget deck to play if they aren't able to get all the cards. Cook Deck Apron, ally link, linked ally gets +2. This is one of those Valtech items I was talking about, where you're able to just put it onto the ally pretty easily and buff those allies that otherwise would be a little bit weaker. Cook Tech Knife, ally link gets +1. These are the type of cards that we're going to be trying to play along with Camille. Just being able to play Camille out straight away. Maybe put 2 Cook Tech Knives on them from your hand. Attack, putting the Cook Tech Apron on. Suddenly you're attacking with a 3/4 ally that's also able to then draw a card in memory at the same time. And as you progress throughout the turns, if it doesn't die, you get more and more effects onto it. Core Fractal, of course, is created by a few different things. It's pretty good from what I've seen, just because you're Fantasia, but the cards that actually create them are fairly decent. Corrosive Juggler, fast speed, 2 cost, 1/2. On enter, you may rest Corrosive Juggler. When you do, deal 1 damage to target unit. That unit's attack gets -2 until end of turn. Yeah, pretty good. Just means that you can fast activate this out, on enter, have it do a damage to a unit if that unit is attacking something else and you're retaliating. Could mean that you're actually able to kill it. And then also it gets -2 to its attack, so whatever it is attacking probably won't die, depending on the situation. This could be a good piece of interaction for ally decks. I don't know if it'll really actually get played. I just feel like a lot of those decks that could play this are generally a lot more aggressive focused fire decks and probably won't really need that protection as much. Click the Edge. This has got to be up there in the number of cards that's been reprinted at this point. Let's see if I can open a new tab. Yeah, that's probably going to be better rather than clicking on it. What we got? 10 editions. There's going to be a lot of... We've got 1. We'll count these all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So 5. So it's probably 5 versions of it now printed. I mean, I guess it's a good card. And it's Warrior sets. We're probably going to see something like this. Delicious pastries. This card has no right for the food to look that good. I'm going to get hungry. I have to get some food after this. 1 cost, sacrifice it, recover 2, pay 2, sacrifice it, put a buff counter on target ally. course, it is a token. You have to create these, but being able to just sacrifice and recover 2 is just really good in a lot of decks. And then also having the chance to just put a buff counter on an ally as well. This is probably better than a lot of what the other buff counter cards in the set are. Delivery Droid on death, summon a power cell token, 1/1. Again, a Fire Overlord deck could be in the runs. Play this, cremate it, get a power cell, draw 2 cards, play something out, playing some more power cells. Just really good. Disenchant, did not realize this is getting reprinted. Give us an Expel reprint. We don't need Disenchant. I don't know. It's a bad Fantasia removal. Expel's just 10 times better. This didn't need a reprint. The Divine Comedy, of course, is the ultimate. I did not realize this is actually in the set. Is this the book? Is this the book that's the box topper? Or yes, this is the book. I'm not too sure. I don't think this is actually in the set because it is just a paper book. I think this is just one of those box topper things that they talked about that's going to be in there. Just for some reason, it's been giving a set number as well. It's going to be a little annoying for those that are set collectors, but it'll be fine. We'll go through the fix, why not? So we've got Inferno. Until the beginning of your next turn, your opponent can't activate a card with even reserve costs. Pain in the ass for a lot of decks. As a spell, destroy target non-champion object whenever that object is destroyed. This way, cover 4. Removal, all is good. Until the beginning of your next turn, your opponent can't activate cards with even reserve cost. I still find it weird that they have the exact same effect in 1 and 3. I think odd. Reserve cost probably would have been a better one to balance it out. And then 4 big, remove all damage counters from your champion, then deal 20 plus X unpreventable damage to each champion your opponent controls, which is 10 times the amount of damage counters removed this way. This is just gonna kill any champion. This is effectively once this comes out, it's pay 4, of course, activate this ability once per turn, and only at slow speeds. It costs 4 less to activate the first time you activate it. This ability's activation can't be negated. Cascade. Of course, the first time you do it, you're going to get this one, and then every turn paying 4 afterwards. It's just a ticking time bomb. You've got to kill your opponent. Once this comes out in 4 turns, there is pretty much no way you are actually going to be able to survive this. Yeah, like, it's from your, yeah. Effectively, all your opponent has to do is not deal any damage to you the whole game. Wait for you to do this and then start killing you, but you're going to be able to self-damage in some way in this deck, and it's just going to cause a lot of problems. This is just ticking time bomb. If your opponent gets this out, you've got 4 turns to kill them, otherwise you're dead. Edge of Tomorrow, scavenge 8 for a domain card. Whenever the next domain card with the same name that is scavenged enters the field under your control's turn, draw a card to memory. I mean, it's a pretty good card for domains. I don't necessarily play a lot of domain decks, so it is what it is. But yeah, there are definitely a lot of decks that will utilize this, especially Tony decks. I know there are people out there that can be excited for this. Elysian Orphan, 3 cost 0/2, Elysian Aura. As long as you control an object with Elysian Aura, and then spells you own activate and resolve as if your champion got +2 level. Does not stack, of course. One thing there, it did stack and be broken. Originally I thought it did. And it has stealth as well, 0/2. Just gives you another chance to get another Elysian Aura out. There are cards, of course, that care about having multiple Elysian Auras. It can always be good. It gives you a chance if your test subject does get removed, then you've got this as a backup as well in order to just bring it out. And Elysian test subject, of course, what is brought out with Dante level 1. Pretty good. Eminence Fury, activates a card only if you control an Elysian ally. Sorry, only if an Elysian ally you control died this turn. You may banish a card at random from your memory if you do level up your champion and deal 4 unpredictable damage to them. Yep. So, of course, sacrifice is still dying. So you just cremate your token that you got given at the beginning of your turn. It dies, you draw 2 cards, use those 2 to play this. You then banish a card random from your memory, level up your champion, deal 4 unpredictable damage to them. You then play your second one of this, go straight to level 3, then go to level 4. Yeah, this is going to be pretty powerful if done right. You can probably use 2 or 3 of these in a single turn, along with cremation and leasing to your subject, or even like multiple different cards allow you to sacrifice this or kill it, just in order to turbo up level 4. I'm glad it says Dante bonus, otherwise it would have been very scary with something like Orphan and lots of cards that allow you to draw and play them out. Institute. It's a siegeable domain. At the beginning of your reclamation phase, sacrifice it and draw a card. On destroy, summon a Elysian test subject token. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're just forcing your opponent to kill it, that you preventing you from taking damage, getting another test subject on the field. Decks with these in it could actually create a ton of these test subjects, which I don't know if there's too much yet that relies on having a ton of them, but it could get scary. Equip Courage. Target ally's next attack this turn gets +X. X's amount of items linked to ally, +1. Floating memory, 2 cost slow speed. Gain for spa speed, it'd be so good. Slow speed, still probably not going to be played that much, but if your deck revolves around putting a lot of allies on a single ally, it could end up being okay. Exquisite Dessert. Again, food has no right to look this good on a card. 2 cost, sacrifice it, recover 4. Pay 1 and sacrifice it, put a buff count on target ally. This is just a better version of that token. I don't really see a reason not to run this in a lot of decks. I mean, there are definitely decks you don't really need to run this in, but this could be one that I almost see Windera Sana possibly playing if there's a little room, or the deck is very, very tight at the moment, just as a way to recover a ton of damage without having to have cards in hand to play cards out. But of course it does kind of give your opponent the chance to actually see that you've got that heal there, so it could just end up not being that good because of that. We'll see Vivid Kental, 3 cost 0/3. Whenever you activate a Harmony or Melee card, you may rest for C. If you do, scavenge 5 for a non-advanced element Resonator ally with reserve cost 3 or less. Put the scavenge card onto the field rather than your hand. Yep. So there's no protection for it, of course, it is 0 cost 0/3. But if you're playing a ton of Resonator allies, and this is like the only one that's not a Resonator in the deck, this could be pretty good, especially if you're playing Harmony Melodies in order to protect your allies. Yeah, it could end up being pretty good, but it really just comes down to how many Resonators we get that are actually good. Fortification, 1 cost, put a bullet counter on target ally or siegeable domain. Floating memory, slow speed. Bullet counters are decent. Not absolutely amazing though. Again, just slow speed on everything just kind of hurts. I don't know if this is going to get played. Oh god. Ah, now the Fractal Insight reprint. Why? Why? Oh. Like, yeah, it's playing Fractals, but that's it. It's never been a great card, and I don't know why it's got another reprint. Okay, we'll move on. 4 cost, fast speed, look, finally. Gearhall. Scavenge 5 for a Valtech item card twice. You're playing a Wind deck and you're able to set that top of the deck up with a Fury Whispers in order to put 2 on top. Great. This is a +1 if you're able to hit them. You do have to make sure you're playing enough Valtech items to actually hit them, because if this Wisp, it will hurt. But yeah, being able to go +1 for 4, pretty good. Not always going to be great, because of course being a 4 cost, it is costing you quite a bit. If this was 3 costs, it'd be absolutely amazing, but yeah, 4 costs might get played in some decks. Won't be a super broken card though. 3 costs, Golden Measure, Pastry. Let me know how to pronounce that, because I'm actually not too sure. I'll need to put a buff count on target ally. 3 costs, tap it, summon a delicious pastry token. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each kitchen item you control. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 3 costs. on it to put a buff counter on it, and then you just get a face token. But again, it's a rare though. Uncommon, I go, yeah, this is an okay card. Rare just doesn't scream powerful to me at all. It's okay, but that's all it is. It's okay. Grey Lupin Droid. It's a cool looking droid. I actually really like the look of that. Yeah, that's cool. 2 cost, 2/1. True Sight. On enter, you may sacrifice a power staff. You do put a buff counter on it. You draw a card in your memory. It becomes a 3/2 effectively. That replaces itself for 2. With True Sight, pretty good. This will be played on automatons, I think, a little bit. If you're able to put another buff counter on and make it a 4/3, it'll become a real powerful card. Probably where a lot of those buff counter things come into play. Party Veteran. Intercept. As long as you control a weapon, it gets retort 3. Being able to retaliate 4 damage, being a 4/3 effectively on retaliation with intercept's pretty good. Class bonus Guardian Warriors. This might be another little thing we've got in order to protect ourselves in those aggro win decks. But yeah, if it didn't have class bonus, it would be really good. But being a 1/3 with intercept 2 is still pretty good. 7 cost Hefty Hammering. Class bonus costs X less to activate, where X is the amount of durability counters on a weapon you control the most durability counters on it, and floating memory. Warrior class bonus. I really thought that was about to say Guardian. Yeah. I mean, there are definitely warrior cards out there that allow you to put a lot of durability counters on things, so this could end up being just a 2 or a 3 cost attack 4 that has floating memory. It could be good in certain decks. I don't know if it's going to be great just because you require the class bonus, and 7 cost is pretty hefty. I guess if you go second and you don't really have a good play turn 1, you can just pay 7 attack 4. But yeah, could be okay. Might be a 1 or a 2 of in those more aggro decks that run the high durability weapons. Hidden Spellcraft. We've seen this card before. Power 3, floating memory. It hasn't really been played that much, but it might be played in Dante. I could see it being good in them. Hightail, 1 cost, slow speed. Target unit becomes distant. If that unit is a ranger, draw a card in memory. And there's just better fast speed cards out there. You really want to be able to make your champion distant, or even any allies as well distant at fast speed. That's where a lot of the ranger power comes into effect. Honorable Vanguard, another reprint of it. I kind of like this art. Might have to get some 4s of this to play them instead. Hulking Rearguard, class bonus as long as you control a unit with taunt. This costs 2 less to activate. Ends up being a 3 cost 3/4. It's Guardian, it's not hard to get allies with taunt. Being able to play out a taunt ally for 3, being a 2/3, and then play this out as a 3/4. You're able to attack for 3. You've then got the taunter to protect this as well. This could be pretty good in the right build of a Guardian ally deck. Governor Trinketer. 3 cost 2/2 on enter. If you control a Vaotic item, draw a card in memory. Now, of course, replacement of cards is very powerful. Being able to actually replace itself while providing a body on the board is always good. You do have to control a Vaotic item, which, from what I've seen, shouldn't be too hard if you base your deck around it. But 3 cost 2/2. I generally like to see some kind of protection built into ally for a 2/2. But with all the buff counters we've got in the game, especially in the Vaotic stuff, it might be okay to actually be playable. Lusa, Gateway Manager. Class bonus figure. 2/2, 3 cost. Cascade, put a bullet counter on it. Cascade, put a buff counter on it. Cascade, put a buff counter on it, and she gains Spell Shroud and Taunt. Yeah. Because it's got Vigor, you can effectively play her out straight away, put a block counter on her, wake her up the end phase, tap her again, put a buff counter on her, and then go into your next turn with a 3/3 that's woken up, tap her again, put a buff counter on her, she gains Spell Shroud and Taunt. You're then able to move to your end of your turn, wake her up again, you've got a 4/4 with Spell Shroud and Taunt that is stopping your opponent from attacking through, and they can't target it with spells. If this was Spell Shroud and Stealth, we might have a conversation for one of the better allies to rival Cheshire Cat. But Taunt's good, Spell Shroud's great for allies, except a lot of the board clears at the moment for allies are board wipes, they're not spot removal. So although it will help, I don't know if this is actually going to be that powerful of a card. I think this is going to be one of those ones that people overvalue on release and ends up dropping off over time as people realize that it's actually not as good as it seems. Lucio, Reclaim Blight, Exalted 2-cost 0/2 with Elysian Aura and Stealth. Pretty sure all Elysian Auras have Stealth, it seems. Your champion's activated abilities cost 2 less to activate. On enter, look at the top 6 cards of your deck. You may reveal a spell card from among them. Put it into your memory. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in your order. If this had fast activation, it'd be broken. It's still pretty good. Being able to reduce the cost of your champion's effects is bloody good. Being able to effectively just bring this out straight away, and suddenly the activation of level 4 Dante is suddenly 2. Yeah, I mean, if you're playing Dante level 4 deck, this is going to be in it as a 3 or a 4 of probably. So I'd say definitely going to hold a bit of value. Switching Rogue, 3-cost 2/3. Finally, 2/3 for 3. The stat line that we've been expecting. Ambush, retaliate against attackers while not defending, and class bonus Stealth. Someone pucking me. Lurking Assailant. I mean, except the opposite. Like, yeah, I mean, like you said, Stealth as long as it's weight, there's a class bonus. It's Assassin though. If this was Guardian or Warrior, it'd be so good. I mean, I'll be using some aggro assassin decks, I think, but yeah, this could have been so good. But they had to put class bonus assassin on it. 2 manufacture cell, summon a power Tyrese. If you control an automaton object, draw a card. We have already seen this as well. Just a reprint. I mean, it's pretty good. Also, it's a craft card. I never realized it's a craft card. That could go well with the weapon that gets counters on it whenever you activate a craft card. Have to keep that in mind. Grizzly's Toss. Class bonus costing 1 less to activate for Assassin. Quickly being a 2-cost. Deal 6 damage to target ally if it is damaged. Otherwise, deal 2 damage to it. It's a skill. It's a skill. If the dragon is causing you problems, it won't be for this season, but if it is in following seasons, you have to attack it with just a 1/1 ally, and then play a couple of these for 2 each, killing it. There are probably better options out there in a lot of decks, but if you are struggling with allies and being able to kill them because they're suddenly got all these massive big overlords running around, then this could be a way to actually remove those. 3-cost Musical Curator. On enter, choose a harmony or melody. Scavenge 12 for that card subtype. 1, 2, 3-cost. Again, there's all this harmony melody support in here that search for harmony, search for melody. I'm just not really seeing anything that looks great. So it could just be setting up support for the next set where we've already seen the recollection decks that I'm sure one of them, probably Neos one's going to be based around harmony and melody. Maybe even the Arcane one. It seems like something they're trying to force into the game to be good. And it's going to be interesting to see if they go overboard with it being absolutely broken, or if it just ends up being okay. Mason Blast reprint, yeah, it's fine. Overcharged Droid, as long as you control 2 or more power cell items, it gets +1/+1. 3, 4 for 3. If you got power cells, it's going to be good in an automaton power cell deck that actually creates a ton of power cells. 2, 4. Oh, I just realized, sorry, on this one. Also, if you've got the create power cell where you create 2 power cell items, while you're going second, you can then play this out straight away, getting a 3/4 onto the board with 2 power cells already on the board, and taking 3 straight away. Seems pretty good. Performance Enthusiast, 2-cost, 1/2. When you activate a Harmony or Melee card, if there are no buff counters on Performance Enthusiast, put a buff counter on it. Yeah, 2 cost, 2, 3. I mean, it's good. It's good. 2 cost, 2, 3. You have to play the Harmony Melee though, which, again, we've got to see some better Harmony Melodies in order to actually make this work. Plasmatic Blaster, 2 cost, ally link. Linked ally has range 2 and True Sight. Tap 3, tap this. If linked ally has range, it becomes distant. Could be good. Could be good in the right deck. It is pretty expensive in terms of the activation of the effect, but it might be worthwhile if we're able to get multiple of these on the same ranger unit. Power Cell. It's a cool looking Power Cell. I wonder, is there a Power Cell B in this? POD. There isn't. So this is the B version. This is the A version of the MRC. They haven't done a B version for this. I wanted to see a B version. It's cool. This still looks cool. I'm currently using the A version because I didn't manage to. Well, had a couple Bs over time, but I've sold them off in the past, and now that I'm actually playing Backup Charger again, I don't have a B version. It's fine though. Rampart, defend it. Bulwark 2/2. Fast moves range 3. 3 cost. Again, 2/2 just seems type of stat line. Ball counter is pretty good though. Being able to protect yourself for one attack. If you had to get a buff counter on this, it can be really good. But all these cards really rely on you having other cards to make them good, which means that they're not really that good of a card. Signal Gunner, 3 cost, range 2. It has range 2 for each Biotech item to it. This is what makes this good. Being able to actually put this onto here, or a couple of these onto here, this has range 2 itself. Say we put 2 of these on, it suddenly has range 4. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It suddenly has range 10 and True Sight. Mean this just attacks for 11 when you pay 3 to activate one of these abilities. That could be actually pretty good. Of course, it does mean that you've got to stop your opponent from removing it, but if your opponent's got the removal and you can see that, this could be a way to win the game. Signal Set 1 on enter. You look at the top 4 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. Sacrifice it, draw a card into memory. This is interesting. I have seen this, and I thought about playing this in Luxem. Being able to turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, whatever, pay 1 just to put this on the field, stack the top of your deck in a way that allows you to draw the cards you want over the next couple of turns, and then get to level 3 and being able to pay 2 straight away to just draw a card in memory. This could be a good way of actually filtering that. Of course, the early days, really early days, people used to play Idle Thoughts in Luxem type decks, being able to stack top of your deck and then use that flame really well. This could be a better way of doing that in Luxem. So we'll see. I'm definitely going to test it out. Sign on. Again, one of those ones that I think everyone's overhyping a little bit. 2 cost 0 for sacrifice it, get a Power Cell Cascade, draw a card, put a buff counter on each automaton ally you control, and 3 being wake it up. Its base power becomes 4. Effectively it becomes 2 cost 4/4 over the course of 3 turns. You do have to be able to sacrifice 3 Power Cells in order to make this work. I just feel like there are better things like Overlord that those 3 Power Cells could be spent on. Unless you've got a massive board of automatons where that buff counter is going to cause you to gain 5 or 6 damage. It just feels like it might be a little bit weak. We got more raccoons. Sweet. Sneaky Raccoon, 2 costs, 1/3. As long as your opponent has no cards in their graveyard, it has stealth. I mean, yes, it's decent. I guess it just means you can have this out in the field with something like a Bandit Raccoon, steal your opponent's graveyard, this gains stealth, and your opponent's just going to end up struggling to remove this because it's constantly got stealth, and if your other raccoons are giving it effects that allow that to also tap to remove, it's going to mean that they're going to have to remove those before they can remove this. So Dow, Unmourned Exception, sorry. On into summon a Power Cell token rested. 3 tap it, sacrifice a Power Cell, scavenge 6 for an automaton card. 3 cost 1/3, that allows you to pay 3 to effectively draw a card, especially in automaton decks. But it's not automaton itself. If this is automaton itself, it'd be good. As it is, I don't know if it's gonna be that good. It is super rare. I guess I see the super rare level of it, but it just feels like it's not quite good enough. If it was just like 1 tap sacrifice power cell to it, being able to play this out and immediately search for an automaton and then play the automaton out, it would be really good. But effectively having to pay 6 to draw an automaton card, could be better. Stabilizing Blade Core, 3 costs, sword weapon link. Linked weapon gets +2. Whenever your champion levels up, put a durability counter on linked weapon. Early game, Lorraine, gun level 1, bring out a sword, put this straight onto it. That weapon then gets +2. If you're using the Looking Glass with maybe a couple of the distortion weapons that are 2 attacks, then put these on it, they become 4 attacks. Yeah, and you're constantly getting durability counters on it, so you're actually able to keep attacking with it. That's the main thing with Lorraine, is that she can generally only attack once with the weapon while she's leveling up before she is able to then use Ascensions and start to put it away. So this being on that weapon allows you to keep attacking with it over the course of the 3-4 turns that you're leveling up. 2 cost Steady Verse, class bonus, next Harmony action card you activate is 10 cost 1 less. More melody stuff, draw a card in your memory. Nah. Sorry, that's not like, I feel like that actually might be a reprint. Is that a reprint? I feel like I've looked at that before. It just feels kind of, oh. Yeah, it was an FTC card. Yep. That explains it. It's a bad card. It's never been played. Never will get played. Dirty Drone, 2/3 for 3 with Vigor. Tamer. Ooh. That's interesting. I really did not think that was going to be Tamer. Again, could be a good card. It's Norm. I mean, we're getting better Norm allies that could turn into a decent Norm deck. But yeah, if that wasn't Tamer, it was just Vigor on a 2/3 drop, it'd be really good. 3 cost Tower of Dis, 4 durability, unique domain, siegeable. This course, automaton allies get +1/+1. Yeah, it's decent. Again, you'd already have to have a board out for it to be good. Otherwise, you just play this out and your opponent's just going to remove it straight away anyway. It just effectively becomes a blockable damage from your face. Trade Bridgewood, 3 cost, automaton allies you control have True Sight. That's good. Class bonus, whenever you activate an ability of a power cell item that targets another ally you control. Trained Bird gets +1 to end turn. I'm seeing a Tamer Norm ally deck here. Could we do Ellen with some Harmony and Melody stuff as well? Maybe. Probably not, but I know Isaac would love that. Could be good. Oh, here's some more. Unbroken Droid. I need to destroy up to 1 target item or weapon memory cost 0. Reserve cost 3 or less. They've just reprinted Unbroken Mustang as an automaton. I can see it. I can see why. Could have made it better. Could have made it 3 cost. don't. My Orb Ceiling would not survive. Yeah. I mean, it's not an animal anymore. That's interesting. Uncanny Realization, 1 cost. Command Automaton. As long as a unique ally is attacking with Uncanny Realization, it gets +2. Okay. This is scary. This is going to be very good. Watch people go second after having someone just spend their first turn getting set up, playing out a couple automatons, and being able to go Uncanny Realization, attack for 7 with this automaton, then play the second one out, mate, attack for 7 with this automaton. Suddenly your opponent's in a position where they're very much close to dead. There are going to be decks that revolve around being able to set up allies fast, 2-cost allies fast, and being able to use this. I actually don't know if there's any 2-cost automaton uniques. There might be. Most of them are probably going to be 3-cost. That's a 2-cost. Yeah, 2-cost, 0, but you get +2 off that, so you take it to 5 effectively. There might not be too many. I might have got ahead of myself a little bit there. But yeah, this is still going to be scary. Especially if you level up. Oh, I've gone past it. Especially if you level up and then play something like Andronica out. Give buff counters to your other automatons and then use this to attack for a ton. It's going to end up being a very aggressive deck on top of what is already in a very aggressive deck. Baltic Armature, Ranger, range 3, Ranger 1, 3, 2 cost. Whenever it becomes linked to a Baltic item, it becomes distant. They're really trying to push Baltic into Ranger as well, aren't they? I don't know. I don't quite like that there's so much in the set for different archetypes. It feels like we're going to have quite a few new archetypes to play, but they're going to be very underpowered compared to a lot of the older archetypes because we've tried to fit them all into one set. Hopefully the next set will provide enough support that they'll actually become really good though. Baltic Gear Hoarder. Baltic Gear Hoarder gets +1/+1 for each Baltic item linked to it. Yeah, again, 3 costs 1/3, but quite often can become very, very strong, very, very fast. There will be a deck that runs these with a lot of the gears. It'll just play an ally out turn 1, get a couple gears on it straight away, and then have a real powerful ally, hoping that your opponent can't remove it. Baltic QA Tester. On enter the next Baltic item you activate targeting Baltic QA Tester this turn, costs 3 less to activate. 3 cost 2/2, they effectively can become a 3 cost 4/2, 3 cost 2/3 with the equipment attached. Yeah, it could be good. It just depends on what all the Baltic items actually are. Where's Future Stir? At the beginning of your end phase, you may rest an ally you control with base power 0. If you do, put a training counter on this. Pay to sacrifice it, draw 2 cards. Activate this ability only if there are 3 or more training counters on it. Oh, pardon me. Yeah. I mean, you have to have a ally with 0 cost. There are quite a few on this deck. Oh, sorry, in this game. I just don't know if the 0 drop allies are really going to be ones you want to be. Oh, what am I saying? Elysian Auras. They're all been 0/2s. Yep. Have that on the field. Play this out straight away. Turn 1. Be able to tap that straight away. Get a counter on this. And then a couple turns you'll get more counters on it. And you're going to be drawing quite a few cards with this. Yeah, that's going to be pretty good. Wicked Guild Breaker. As long as your opponent has influence 9 or more, it has stealth and vigor. On enter, if your opponent has influence 8 or more, put a buff counter on it. So if your opponent has a high influence, it's going to become a 3/4 stealth and vigor. That's going to be pretty good. Even just being a 3 cost 2/3 for the beginning of the game is still going to be pretty good. So this is going to be one of those allies that you probably add into a lot of those ally balance decks that I think might make a comeback. So this is probably going to be worth it a little bit to begin with. It'll probably come down eventually because I don't think it's going to be broken cards playing a lot of decks. but it probably will be a few bucks to begin with. Xena. Oh, let's move that up. Yep. Xena Eco Weaver. While paying for this card's reserve cost, you may banish 2 Harmony and or Melody cards from graveyard. Each card banished pays 2 of that cost. So effectively it can be a free cast 2/3 with Vigor on level 1+. Yeah, I could see a world where this is actually good to play. Even in a normal ally deck, if you're running a couple of Harmony and Melodies just to protect your allies, this could be pretty good. Moving on to Fire. Feels like there was tons of Norm in the set. 103 of the... Yeah, okay, so a third of the set almost. Anine Flurry of Fire. Deal 1 damage to target unit twice. Deal 1 damage to that unit 2 more times. Of course, as we've seen, there are cards in this game that here, I think it's this one. Gathering Flames. This card costs 2 to activate for level 3+. On a draw card and then discard a card. With a fire element and then spell source you control will deal damage. Deals much damage +1 instead. So this is what you play out first. Have a couple of these on the field, and then you play Anine Furies, dealing effectively. Say you've got 2 of the Guttering Flames on the field, doing 3 and 3, so 6. And then if you're level 5+, which in Dante is going to be pretty easy to do, you then do 3 and 3 again, so dealing 12 damage 1 card. If you've got 2 of these in your hand, you're just going to be probably winning most games on the spot if your opponent is not able to actually prevent any of that spell damage. There will be very aggro, very fast Dante decks that come about. Then got Anine Point of Flare. Level 3+, costs 2 less to activate. Basically makes it a 2 cost fast speed. Deal 4 damage to target champion. Yeah, I mean 2 cost fast speed, deal 4 damage. It's not bad, especially since you don't have to sacrifice a sword or a shield or anything. Remember with Dante, because he gets that releasing aura out straight away. Effectively, once you've gone level 1, you are level 3 for the purpose of all these spells. There is going to be some fast aggro Dante decks happening. Anine Scorching Comet, deal 2 damage target unit. Class bonus level 3+, deal 4 damage unit instead. Slow card, but class bonus level 6+, deals 6 damage to unit instead. If you are level 4, you get that 6 damage. Not as good of a card. I think this is a better card, but still more damage. Aggro decks love damage. Anine Spark of Light. Just renaming cards with Anine now. Okay. Deal 2 unforgettable target unit. Yep. Class bonus level 3+. Deal 3 unforgettable damage to that unit instead. Class bonus level 6+. Draw a card in your memory. Just a better Spark of Light for mage decks. Doesn't really change anything for all the other decks. Blistering Insurgent. Whenever your champion attacks for the first time each turn, it gets +1 until end of turn. 2 cost, 2/1, ends up being a 3/1. Yeah, there are better options out there than that. Cook Tech Mixer. Tap it. The next food card you activate this turn costs 2 less to activate. Sacrifice it in a power cell. Deal 3 damage to each champion and draw a card in your memory. This is the first one I saw that I went, oh, that's a good card that we'll be able to use quite a bit. It might be good in a Sylvie deck. Because you have to sacrifice a power cell, it just means it's not as good as it could have been. Originally, I didn't see the power cell. I thought it was just sacrifice, deal 3 damage to each champion and draw a card in memory. But it's going to be decent for aggro decks that don't really care about the power cells that they're already generating as a byproduct. Creative Tinder, 3 cost slow speed, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Okay. So, bad Creative Shock. I know people joking about, are you going to run Creative Geo, Creative Tinder and Creative Shock? No. Slow speed's just... The one thing that makes Creative Shock good is the fast speed, being able to get stuff into your bin at fast speed. This... I mean, it could be okay in a budget deck where you're trying to get all the draws and discards, and just, like, Aggro Fire Lorraine might run this. Just because it's just another card that gets a fire into your bin and second fire into your bin, you're able to combo with it. But it's just a consistency piece that's not really going to be that good. It is in here for draft. That is 100% why they made it. It's 100% why it's in the set. It is here as a consistency builder for you to draft with. Demon's Bargain. Gain control of target ally you don't control unless its controller has you draw 2 cards. You do have to target them, so quite often you're not going to be able to get rid of things that are actually a problem, like the Shinju allies or like the Majestic Spirit. They always spell out, so you're not going to be able to actually get rid of them that easily. But if your opponent's got something like Ace of Protector that's going to stop you from winning the game, being able to use this to steal it would cause you to win the game, so your opponent's probably then going to let you draw 2 cards, which is pretty good. But I do feel like this is probably... I've often complained about the power level of different cards and why certain cards are super rare. I think this is the perfect rare. It isn't super powerful. It isn't a weak card. It's just that good mix of making it a decent rare to pull in a pack. If this was super rare, I'd be complaining about it again. But because it is a rare, it is perfect. Ember Slash, 1 cost, 2 attack. On attack, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. Yeah, I mean, it's a 1 cost, 2 attack with your warrior. That gets you a effectively hasty messenger effect on the attack. This, yeah, I mean, early game especially, this is pretty good in those fire aggro decks. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Yeah, no, I'm not. 1 cost, fast speed. Target player can't recover onto end turn. Ephemerate 3. I mean, you've got the 2 cost, deal 2 damage, and can't recover already. This does have Ephemerate though, which is a bonus. Then your opponents have to see it in the graveyard already, so they're able to play around the fact that you're going to be having the ability to activate this. I mean, it's not bad. It's not great. It's just a good uncommon. Flame Tech Blade Core, Sword Weapon Link, the Rainbow Link Shield. If this object enters the field linked to a target sword weapon, if the link is broken, sacrifice it. Link Shield. Linked object would be destroyed. Remove all temporary damage from it. Destroy that object. Ah, right. I forgot about this effect. Which means if you've got this out in the field, attach to one of your swords and you are Lorraine. If the weapon be destroyed, you destroy this instead. Link weapon gets +2 and has whenever you discard a fire limit card, put the durability counter on this weapon. I feel like this should have almost been... I guess Mordred's just water at the moment. That's all they've really got for him. But this reads more of a Mordred attack card than it does Lorraine. I just feel like a lot of Lorraine's weapons you want to be cycling with Pendragons and with Ascensions, but not at the moment. Ascension's banned for this season, of course. But, yeah, it's okay. Flame Tech Shield, Ally Link, Link Shield. If the ally be destroyed, destroy this instead. On need to draw a card, then discard a card. Could be pretty good, especially with all those allies that get bonuses from having Valtech items on them. Just means that you're able to actually protect them a little bit more while they're able to deal tons of damage. Bling food, love this. I'm able to throw food at people now. We talked about this a little bit, and it could be good in something like Fire Slimes, where you've got the Forest Cakes on the field and you're able to just fling that for a little bit extra damage early on, just to start pushing that damage from the start without having to try and wait till level 3 to actually do anything to your opponents. Focus Flames, reprint. Yeah, it's fine reprint. Bran, 3 cost 2/2. On attack, target player banishes a card from their graveyard. If a fire element card was banished this way, empower 3. Dante. Dante's going to love her. I don't know if it's going to be that good in a lot of decks. Of course, this is a 2/2. Really going to be one of those ones where you want to be able to play this out, attack, banish a fire card, and use their empower to then combo off and deal a ton of damage to your opponent. So that rather than trying to remove those, they're trying to just survive the turn. Hotcake, 3 cost. Whenever an ally enters the field, you may sacrifice Hotcake. If you do, that ally's next attack this turn is +3. This was one of the ones that we kind of looked at and went, again, Fire Slimes could be good to be able to play it at turn 1. Level up Sylvie, play a baby red out, sacrifice this with the baby red, attack with baby red, discard a flame eruption, suddenly you slime eruption, and then suddenly you're attacking for 7 damage with a baby red slime on turn 2. Seems pretty good, but overall I think it might end up being a bit of a clunky card in those decks, so it probably won't end up seeing a lot of play. It could be an option for those wanting to just do a bit more aggro early on in those level 3 fire decks. Incinerator, Feline Droid. It's 3 cost 2/3 fire. We don't see a lot of 3 cost 2/3s in fire, so it's pretty good. Class bonus on enter, you may banish 2 fire element cards from your graveyard. When you do, as a spell deals 3 damage to target ally. It is Cleric Tamer. I understand why it's not Warrior or Gun. That would have been pretty broken. But this is still pretty good. Yeah, a 3 cost 2/3 ally that also removes, well, doesn't remove, but effectively removes an ally from the board. This is pretty good. Inflamed Blade Hand, 3 cost 2/2. Whenever your champion attacks, Inflamed Blade Hand gets +2 until end of turn. I mean, if you've got some way to wake up your champion and just keep attacking, you can get +2 multiple times of this, end up doing a lot of damage. But effectively just meaning that you can play this out, attack for your Lorraine level 1 for 1, and then this gets +2 and attack this for 4 straight away. Pretty good. Of course, 2 life. It's going to get removed pretty easily. I don't know how great it actually is. Lorraine, Pastoral Hymns. As long as your influence is 4 or less, this card costs 6 less to activate. A lot of aggro decks get down that low. You could see something like Daichao play this. At the beginning of each player's end phase, if that player's influence is 8 or more, deal X -7 damage to that player's champion, X is that player's influence. Yeah, I mean, especially if you're playing against someone that's got a massive influence. It is siegeable though. If this was Fantasia, it would be so much more broken, hence why it is a domain. But yeah, it's going to just effectively be a defense 6 from yourself because your opponent's going to really want to remove this pretty fast. Bolted Impact, 2 cost slow speed. As additional cost to activate this card, sacrifice a weapon. Deal 2+ X damage to target unit, where X is the amount of durability counters that was on that sacrificed weapon. Effectively a blazing throw for high durability weapons. I don't know if it's really going to be played that much. I think Blazing Rose is probably just a more consistent output than what this will be. Outfitted Ravager, 3 cost 2/3, giving us more fire 2/3s. There could be decent ally decks that are fire. Whenever an object becomes linked to Outfitted Ravager, draw a card and discard a card. Yeah, with some items and everything, this, yeah, pretty good. Package Courier. On enter, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. 2 cost 1/3. I mean, we've seen this in the past on a lot of cards. It's okay. It's not great. Lutus, 2 cost 2/3. Sorry, what? As an initial cast, activate this card, discard a card. A lot of the time, you don't really care that much. Like, for that, you can discard a Flame Memory, discard a fire card to up the Rending Flames. Class bonus, as long as your influence is 4 or less, it gets +2 and damage dealt by it is unpreventable. Yep. Okay. Yep. This is going to be good. There's going to be some real bloody fast aggro decks out there where you play everything out, you end up with 5 influence, play another card out, play this out, and then you're suddenly down to 4, well, maybe less influence, and yeah, you're going to be able to do a lot. Now, it is additional cost to activate discard a card, so you do have to have that card in your hand. Yeah. Cost to activate this card, discard a card. Generally things say discard a card from your hand or discard a card from your memory. I am actually going to check if this has a ruling change on it at all. No rules yet. but they don't generally send them out until the beginning of the set, when the set actually officially releases on Friday. So I'm guessing we might have a discard card from your hand. If you can discard a card from your memory of this, then that might end up actually being very broken. 2 cost, Proless Sage. Only till you may banish a card, banish a fire element card from your graveyard. If you do, empower 2. Always to empower. Okay, not great. Rampant Blade Hand. On attack, you may remove a durability counter from a weapon you control. If you do, this attack gets +1. 3 cost. It becomes a 4/1. There's 3 cost 3/1s in the game already. There's 2 cost 3/1s that aren't played at all. I don't think this is going to be played either. Rogue for Detonation, 1 cost. Target unit becomes distant. Slow speed. I was really hoping that'd say fast speed. You may sacrifice a Valtech item. If you do, that unit's next attack gets +3. I mean, I guess you could attack with your allies that have Valtech item on them. Play this on your Diana champion. Sacrifice Valtech item. Diana gets +3 to its attack and then is able to attack for a ton of guns. There are probably better options out there still to make them distant. 2 costs, Scars of All. Draw a card, then discard a card. Parts bonus, put a buff counter on each damaged ally you control. You have to go damage your allies first, and generally speaking, fire allies are a bit weaker. But this could work well. I think you might see this in a fire ally deck that runs all the 2/3 allies as a way of actually preventing your opponent from removing them easily. Singed Emotions. Until the beginning of next turn, whenever a champion levels up, deal 4 damage to that champion. Floating Memory, 2 cost. It's pretty good, especially in a fire aggro damage deck. Being able to play this out, give yourself Floating Memory into the next turn, and then also being able to not trap your opponent, but put them in a position where if they're going to level up and then possibly DG again, they're going to be taking that 8 damage, which is just super painful. And it's one of the things that taser locking with Diana and taser shot was always super powerful. So this on a card means it's probably going to see some play in those real aggro decks. 2 costs, Smoldering Cook. Stealth. Class bonus for Cleric Ranger. Tap it, sacrifice food item, deal 3 damage to target champion. If you're able to create a lot of food items, then this could be good. Otherwise, it's probably not going to be played a huge amount. Stoked Slice, 2 cost. On attack, you can banish 2 fire element cards from graveyard. If you do, allies you control get +1 to end of turn. It is an Inspiring Call with a 2 attack itself. Doesn't replace itself though. Could be okay, but you really want to be able to get a board open pretty fast for that. Thermal Break. Destroy target item, weapon, memory cost 0 or reserve cost 3 or less. If that object was linked to a unit, deal 3 damage to that unit. Slow speed, okay. So it's just another removal of item or weapons. Reduced Ash is just better, I think. I don't think you're going to end up playing this at all. Tinted Soldier. Whenever you discard a fire element card, if there are no buff counters on Tinted Soldier, put a buff counter on it. There are a lot of ways to discard and draw cards in this. 2 costs, effectively going 2/3. Could be decent. Velocity Punch. This is the card I was thinking of when I was talking about Luxem. Of course, I'm talking about the norm one as well. 2 costs, Velocity Punch. Pay 3, sacrifice it. Deal 3 unpreventable damage to your champion. Draw 2 cards in a memory. I think I will be playing this in Luxem. You don't get anything straight away, but it's not bad. Even be able to turn 1, play 1 or 2 of these out, then be able to level up. Maybe not 2. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You end up 2 cards in hand. If you bring GCR, or you don't really play GCR anyways, pay 3, sacrifice it, draw 2 cards in memory. Yeah, I mean, most of the time, this is probably going to be ones where you play it out, have it on the field, and then when you go to level 3 with your Angelic Channeling triggers, trigger them, put them on top, and then straight away activate this, drawing those cards into your memory in order to get the effects straight away. It could be a pretty powerful card. We just want to be careful not to go too much fire in the deck as we are still running Serene. Now to water. I am nowhere near a water expert. I have always played fire and wind decks mainly. But we'll see. 2 cost, 1/3 Express Officer, range 3. On enter, if you control another Discorp ally, it becomes distant. It becomes a 4/3 for 2. Once you control another Discorp ally and you're leveled up to Ranger. It'll be pretty good. I don't see why that wouldn't be playable. And then Slavo. My pronunciation is horrible. Class bonus, level 5 plus. To end a turn, if a fractal source you control would deal damage, it deals damage plus 1. Each fractal object you control deals 1 damage to target unit. Class bonus, level 5 plus. This is definitely a Dante card over any other ones. But Fractals Dante could be a play. I do think that Daichao is still better. But this could be an alternate way of possibly winning the game if you are able to play any empowerment stuff in Daichen. And then Crystallization. Destroy target restore ally. Class bonus level 6 plus. Summon a core fractal token. It's saying good enough. No, that's a bad read card. If it wasn't exalted, yes, it'd be okay. But the fact that it's exalted, no. I need Frost Lance. Deal 2 damage to target unit. Class bonus level 3 plus. If that unit is rested, deal 4 damage to it instead. Level 6 plus. If that unit is rested, deal 8 damage to it instead. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's great. It's not bad. Fast speed is the main thing that makes it okay. And then Frozen Shunt. If a unit is attacking in the combat phase, I was fully expecting it to be exalted. Okay. Class bonus level 4 plus for Cleric Mage. Draw card in memory. So it is it's just another Song of Frost, technically, but for Cleric and Mage this time. Pretty good. And then Swelling Tides. Recover 3. 2 costs fast speed. Class bonus level 5 plus. Recover 3. Class bonus floating memory for Cleric Mage. Technically, if you're level 5 plus, you're going to be recovering 6 floating memory as well. Watermelon might like this, and that could be a bit of fun. Aquatic Shell. Ally Link gets +2 and has on attack cover 2. Floating memory. There's some good Valtech armors in this. It could be interesting to see what happens in terms of actually possibly creating an ally that just can't be killed. Aquatic Shield, Ally Link Shield, floating memory. Again, it's got Link Shield. Like, if you just get 4 or 5 of these on it, ally, they're just not going to be able to remove it because every time they try to kill it, this gets removed instead. I think the only thing that would stop it would be a Dream Fury. Which, if you have the ally out that when on leave, put everything back in your memory, that goes back to memory, these will go back to your memory, then remove Dream Fury and just play everything back out. Equival and Ambusher, 5 cost, 1/3. Class bonus cost, 2 less activate. Okay, so 3 cost, 1/3 with Ambush, Retort, 2, and Stealth. It becomes a 3/3 that sits on the board and retaliates against things you want to try kill. Good against allies, not great against much else. Augustine. 4 cost, 1/4. Tap at Cascade. Up to 1 target. Yep. Up to 1 target object loses spell shred and stealth until end of turn. And end of your next turn. Until the end of your next turn. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Goods too. Yeah. As a spell, destroy target item or weapon with memory cost 0 or reserve cost 4 or less. If you do, its control summons a core fractal token. I mean, you could destroy your own item weapon and give yourself a fractal token. And being able to stop your opponent from being able to gain spell shells and stealth is pretty powerful as well. Again, 3 costs, this would have been really good. 4 costs. Might see some play here and there, but it's not going to be absolutely amazing. Bifurcating Fractal. Reservable. Pay 3, sacrifice it. Summon 2 core Fractal tokens. Of course, you do lose this, but effectively +1's the amount of Fractals on board, which could be good in a late game situation where you've got a ton of influence and not much to do with it, and you're maybe a couple damage away from killing your opponent. You're able to use this to actually get that 2 extra damage with the Burst Asunder, possibly. I think this is going to be definitely played in Fractals, but it's not going to be one of those absolutely broken cards that changes the deck. Breakwater Cadet, 3 cost 1/3 on attack. Target player puts the top 2 cards of the deck into their graveyard. Warrior Mill, yeah, okay. Yeah. Main card decks that care about mill like this would be Gembu, and it's already got Bovine in that deck. It's not Warrior, so there might be situations where you want this to be able to mill your opponent or even mill your self-mill in order to set up your graveyard. That's actually it. It's for Water Mordred. Support Water Mordred, being able to self-mill, set up your graveyard with a ton of attack cards in it, and then be able to go into Mordred and bring out something like Arendite. Could be good. Selwyn Droid, 3 cost 1/4 class bonus, pay 5 tap at summon a power cell token rested. Cost 1 less for each water element card in your graveyard. A 1/4 that just summons a power cell every turn could be good. Especially if you play this turn 1, level up into level 1 Tamer, whatever you're playing, and then be able to just slowly over time gain the advantage with this. This is probably some type of Embu Automaton deck. I don't know. There's a few different options here. I don't think Tame Automatons is going to be great, but it could be something to be looked at. Cryogenic Ritual. As an additional cost to activate this, sacrifice an ally, summon a core fractal token, floating memory. This could be playing fractals as well. Play Shang out, draw 2 cards, then use this, sacrifice it, get another fractal on board, and then you've got the floating memory from this in order to level up or bring something else into the following turns. Could be pretty good. Current Groover, 3 cost 1/3. Deluge 3, as long as you have 3 or more water element cards in your graveyard, it's +1, so it becomes a 2/3 for 3. And if you activate a Harmony or Melody, target player puts top 3 cards of the deck into the graveyard. Yeah, I mean, it's a 3-drop 2/3 effectively in most water decks. I'd like to point out this artwork is what I would consider to be a super rare's artwork. I would have thought they'd put that on a super rare card. Pretty good. Could be good. Harmony Melodies again, though. Like, I just don't think Harmony Melodies are really going to be that powerful that you want to put cards like this into the decks. Fountain Blade Hand. Deluge 3, as long as you have 3 or more water element cards in your graveyard, Fountain Blade Hand gets +1/+1. Has floating memory. 2/3 Deluge effect again to get +1/+1. 2/3 for 2 with floating memory. Could be okay. But I feel like it's just Water isn't really trying to play the whole ally thing unless you are playing Water allies, in which case I feel like something like this just doesn't quite fit into that deck. Frigid and Brilliant, 2 cost fast speed, deal 2 damage to target rested unit. If that unit is an automaton, deal 4 damage to instead. Of course, the common set is going to be hate for automatons as well. Frostbind reprint as well. Okay, I kind of want to check this. You guys are going to be with me. How many reprints of this has there been? 14 editions. But when we go into the editions, yeah, TRDG. Oh, that's the new artwork, isn't it? Yeah, that's not artwork. New armament, Grimoire Foils. EVP, Grimoire Foils. Yep. There's been a lot of printings of Frostbind. I mean, it's a plague card. It's a good card. Not going to complain. Hydrain Fractal. Whenever your champion levels up, cover 1. Reservable. I think this will get played in Fractals. People will try playing Fractals. It's not a bad card. It's a 1 cost reservable. Effectively replaces itself straight away. But yeah, you might get recover 1 or recover 2. Like, when you're only playing around with 19 life, that can be something that affects the game. But it's not going to be as broken as what the last 1 cost fractal was with Glimpse 4. that was all about the consistency of building the deck. The deck hasn't been bad recently either, so this is just going to add to it. So I think Fractals is going to be something to watch going into this next set. Hydrocast Droid. On enter, if you have one or more cards with Flame Memory in your graveyard, Hydrocast Droid gets +2 until end of turn. Ends up being a 3/3 for 2. Yeah. I mean, it becomes a 1/3 afterwards. Like, I don't know. It just feels like if you don't have that floating memory, it's just going to feel bad. So I don't think that's going to see a huge amount of play. 3 cost, Keen Tide Binder, 1/3. Class bonus, whenever you empower for the first time each turn, Keen Tide Binder gets +2 on 10 turn. Floating memory. I mean, a lot of this plus damage and stuff in this set, it seems. And they're all reliant on you doing other things. Now, if we are playing a Dante water deck, this could be good because you are going to empower a lot. You are generally going to get that plus damage. It can end up being 3/3 quite a bit. Having flow memory does help. So it will get played in Dante ally decks, but not much else. Oh, we've got another guide. I feel like I have seen this. As long as you control one or more Fractal Fantasias, it has stealth. You may sacrifice 2 Fractal Fantasias rather than pay the memory cost of a champion you materialize. Yep. Level 3 Daichao decks rejoice, I guess. Because you're only playing this out where you got Fractals, so you're going to have stealth on it. So it'll be 3 cost 1/3 with stealth. And then you got to level up. You may sacrifice 2 Fantasias. Fractal Fantasias. Which if you, I mean, it hurts you. You go down to permanent influence, but you're not losing any cards from memory, so you're still going to have those pay costs and play out. It's not bad. I don't think it's broken. It's kind of going to be similar to the Flagrant Guide, where Flagrant Guide's not bad. It's a good card, but it's not great in a lot of decks. This is going to be a good card in the deck it is played in, not a great card in a lot of decks. This also means if we don't have the wind one in this set, I'm guessing the next set's going to have a wind guide. Probably something to do with suppressing and giving counters and then being able to... I'm going to call it right now. The wind one's going to be a 3 cost 1/3 guide that whenever you suppress an item or allies or suppress something, you'll put a counter on this. When you level up, if this has 3 or more counters on it, you may remove 3 counters and ignore the cost of that champion. It'll be something along this line. 3 costs, Martial Flow State, Fantasia Warrior Spell. Whenever your champion levels up, sacrifice it, draw a card in memory, and your champion's deck gets +2, floating memory. Another Mordred card, a little bit of bonus. It's not bad, but it's not quite going to help Mordred too much, I don't think. He still needs a lot of help to get to where he needs to be. Here are the depths. 2 cost fast speed. Activate this card only during your recollection phase. Target opponent skips their next draw phase. Look at the top 4 cards of that player's deck and banish a card from among them. Put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. Until the end of that player's next turn, they may activate the banish card, ignoring its elemental requirements. It's good. Especially if they've just stacked a whole bunch of cards on the top of their deck using a channeling. It's very much a water control card. I don't know how I feel. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I think it's going to be a really good card in the right deck. I think we might see with the guide and this a level 3 Daichao deck that just becomes one of the most hated decks in the meta because it's just so consistent at locking down board state that you feel like you just can't do anything against them no matter what you do. This is going to be scary. Pure Kaito Synth. Releasing Aura again. 3 cost 3/4 this time. On enter, Dante bonus of put the top 3 cards of your deck into your graveyard. Then a power X with X the amount of water cards in your graveyard. This is going to be your game finisher for water Dante decks, I feel. It's not bad. I mean, it's a 3/4 for 3. Of course, Exalted, so late game card, but yeah, pretty good, pretty good. It's going to be, I think, a meta where we're going to see a lot of Nullifying Lanterns running around. We're going to need it, I think. Threshing Slice, 3 cost, 3 attack. On attack, you may pay 3 if you do recover 3 plus level. Watermelon Rejoice, being able to just attack for 3, pay 3, and recover 20. Could be good. Other warrior decks, yeah. Being able to have, well, I think they have to pay 6 to attack for 3 and then recover 5 or 6. Just not enough. There's better options out there. Revitalizer X Ultra. Sounds like some type of drug. 2 cost. Cascade it, recover 1. Cascade again, recover 2. Cascade, recover 3 and draw card of memory. I mean, it doesn't cost anything to actually activate it, so it could be an okay card. Just have on the field just to recover a little bit each turn, then replace itself eventually. Swift, put the top card of your deck into your graveyard, then draw a card into your memory. Yeah, I mean, Gimbu will love this. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a good card. Soak Slash, Deluge 2. As long as there are 2 or more water element cards in your graveyard, Soak Slash gets +2. On attack, target player puts the top 2 cards of the deck into their graveyard. Warrior, this is a water card again. They're trying to give water a lot more support. Vital Fractal, on each target player puts top cards and the deck into their graveyard. Observable. Has this had a printing already? I feel like I've seen this before. No. This is the first printing of it. Okay. Maybe there's another one that I'm thinking of. It could be okay. It just depends. If you have to stack top of your deck, if we still had the Snake Fractal, yeah. It's just good, but not great. It's a fractal that Gimbu will play. That's probably where it'll get played more than actual fractals. Tideball Sentinel. Taunt, 3 cost 1/3. On enter, you may banish a card with floating memory from your graveyard. If you do, draw a card and put a bullet counter on it. Yeah, this is pretty good, pretty good. You have to have the floating memory, of course. But replace itself, gets a bullet counter on it. It's a 1/3 taunter. Effectively, it's going to be stopping the attack, first attack, then it's going to have to take another attack, or maybe even 2 attacks and would remove it. There are probably better taunters out there, but it's not too bad. Of course, Frostborn Paladin's probably better in every way, except for the fact that it's taunt. Waterfall Sage, 2 costs 1/3, class bonus on attack Cascade, and power 1 and power 2, and this attack is +3. This attack is +3. I feel like, yeah, this attack is the wording on that's weird. This attack gets +3 until it. Let's just say Waterfall Sage gets +3 attack until end of turn. Oh, sorry. It's an on attack trigger. Helps to read the card. On attack, Cascade, and power 1 and power 2, and then on attack, this attack is +3. Okay, that makes sense. Weight of looking up. 3 cost slow speed. You may banish a champion card with base level 3 or higher from your material deck. If you do, draw a card to memory, floating memory. Auto Hybrid. Grain Melon. Good work. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, it's not a good card in a lot of decks, but it can be played. And then Cyclic Wind. Class bonus level 3+. This card costs 2 less to activate. Return target spell card from your graveyard to your memory. I mean, if you're playing Dante, good. Bring up to 2 wind element cards from your memory, return them to your hand, then empowered 2. Yeah. This could be pretty good for some combo win things, especially if you're running like Raid Scale or something. Of course, level 5 takes a bit to set up, but it could be okay. Neon Cyclone, Efficiency Class Bonus. Cleric Mage, suppress any amount of target non-champion objects. Banish this. Now this is just giving me Wind Merlin. Yes, Dante will be able to use this, but imagine Wind Merlin with Prismatic and all Pen Dragons and everything. We have to suppress everything. Everything come back, get all the triggers, all the draws. It could be pretty powerful. And then Flux Generator. On enter, draw a card in your memory. Whenever you activate an empowered and then spell card, you may rest this. When you do, as a spell, deal 2 damage to target champion. It's 2 extra damage in Wind. I guess Wind needs a bit more damage, so it's not bad. It does replace itself. Could be a good option. And then Reclaim. Putting a Neon in front of everything just to make it work. I'm not a huge fan of that, but yeah. 2 costs, return target ally to its owner's hand. Class B, class bonus level 3+, so if you have Dante level 1, effectively, draw a card into your memory. It is a +1. I guess Windmill Engineer into this would be good, especially if you're running a lot of graveyard hate, like Sensor, rest please. But yeah, I mean, it's good in Dante. That's effectively what a lot of the set is. It's good in Dante. And then Swelling Gust. Class bonus level 3 fastest card costs 2 less to activate. Deal X damage to target unit with X is the amount of wind element objects you control, and level 5+ draw a card in memory. Again, it's good in Dante. And then Tailwind Boost. Wake up target ally. Class bonus level 6+. The ally's next attack this turn gets +4. It's good in Dante. Maybe Melon. Depending. Actually. Maybe. Lightheart Adept. 2 costs 1/2. On enter, if you control an Elysian object, draw a card into your memory. Windmill's better, I think. That's 1/2. Doesn't require you to view. But you have to have the Elysian objects. If your opponent removes it in response to you playing this, it's kind of a loss. Yeah, maybe. Lightheart Penitent. 3 costs 1/3. Tap it if you control Elysian object Cascade. Event next turn should be dealt to target unit's turn. Is its way to prevent your Elysian objects from dying. 2 and 3 put a buff counter on target ally. Yeah, it could be good. 3 costs 2/3. On enter, if you control Elysian object, gets +2 and 2 in a turn. Could see a win ally Elysian deck possibly. Being able to pay 3 and attack 4 straight away is pretty powerful, especially if you're then able to suppress this with other effects. Breeze Claratura. My English isn't great, obviously. 3 cost low speed, fast activation for class bonus for cleric. Put a buff counter on each human ally you control until your turn. Human allies you enter the field under your control, enter with an additional buff counter on them. Yeah, I mean, could be okay. Breezy Looper. +1 on enter, return target harmony or melee card from graveyard to your memory. 2 cost 4 cost 2/3. This 3 cost would be pretty good. 4 cost, nah. Kato Meta's Channeler. I like this art. This art looks really cool. That kind of looks like Pokeballs to me. Interesting. On enter, empower 2. Whenever you empower, put a buff counter on target ally. trigger this ability only once per turn. I mean, this enters, activates itself, you put in on another target ally, put a buff counter on another target ally. It'll be okay. Self Fidget Droid, only to summon a power cell token rested, pay 4, have it summon a power cell token rested. It does create one straight away, then you're able to consistently just keep creating them, paying 4. It is a hefty cost, so maybe we see something that allows you to reduce this cost to 0. It could be good. Crosswing Cuts, 5 cost, 2 attack. Class Blows, this costs 2 less to activate for Warrior. Maybe 3 cost. Multi-strike 1, you may assign up to 1 additional target as you declare this attack. Yeah, I mean, playing this with level 2 Lorraine, being able to pay 3 and attack for effectively, well, let's say at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 2 different targets and on kill them. Seems pretty good to me. Although Hurricane Sweep is arguably better, just in general, just better. Cutthroat Operative, class bonus when you activate an attack card. If Cutthroat Operative was less than 2 buff counters on it, put a buff counter on it. This sort of automaton would be great. Being able to play this out, then attack Lorraine using a attack card. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Distant encounter. 3 cost fast speed, scavenge 6 for an ally card. If scavenge card is an Elysian, draw a card to your memory. Well, it's not bad. Not bad. It just, I mean, the trouble with scavenge and cards like this is you effectively have to hold cards up. I guess if you are in a situation where you are holding up interaction to protect your allies on your turn, on your opponent's turn, and they don't do anything to 3 new allies, you can then go to your turn, bring out a bauble or something, draw a card, play this out, and then get that ally card from deck and go on your turn, play it out. Short dodge, 1 cost, and the next turn is out to target unit's turn. If that unit is distant, draw a card in memory, otherwise it becomes distant. Fast speed, 1 cost. This is good. This is very good. No complaints with this. Accelerating Plume, 4 cost, Exalted Wind. Class bonuses cost 2 less to activate for Warrior. Human ally cards you activate into the field with additional buff counter on them. Fantasia. Effectively, you go to level 3, the Rain, pay this 2, play this out. It's good. Like, I don't know. If it replaces itself, it would be great. Is human allies, which most of Lorraine's allies are human. So yeah, this could be that little bit extra damage that Wind Lorraine needs. Maybe not this season coming, but the following season. Just to give a little bit of added boost damage in the late game. Fan Club Leader. 2 cost, 1, 3. As you activate Harmony or Melody card, Resonate allies you control get +1 between your turn. 2 cost, 2, 3 when you activate Harmony Melody. Harmony Melody is just, yeah. Overall wins. Reprint. Cool. 1, 3. I thought this was a Melody or a Harmony. 1, 2. It's not. Okay. I mentioned that earlier. I was wrong. That is fine. Allows you to get +1 during turn. Flowing Memory. It's an okay card then. It is not as good as I thought it was. I'm not sure what you're going to be using this with in terms of allies then. Gustic Shield, Ally Link, Link Shield, Link Ally has bigger. Could be very good on a lot of different decks. Allies. Haze Droid, 2/2, 3 cost, Stealth, Automaton. Does nobody remember Shimmercloak Assassin? This is just Shimmercloak Assassin. Just giving us another one. But this is Tamer Discord Automaton rather than Assassin Automaton. I mean, I guess we can run an ally deck with 8 copies of 3 costs 2/2 stealth in them. I have to make a buff deck that just runs a ton of stealth allies that opponent's forced to have True Sight, otherwise just lose. 4 cost music. Ando. My grandmother would hate me the fact that is a musical term that I cannot pronounce. As long as you've activated Harmony Melodies card to turn, this card costs 3 less to activate, so it'll be a 1 cost 2, 3. As long as you've activated Harmony Melodies, okay. Reclaim, reprint, always good, it's a good card. Reinforcing Air. 3 cost fast speed. Up to 2 target human allies get +2/+2 until end of turn. This card costs 1 less to activate. Barbarian acid, 2 cost. This is probably should have Harmony and Melody. That'd be good then. It'd be a good card then. No, it's still a good card. 2 cost. 2 allies get +2/+2 until end of turn. This is probably decent one for wind allies to be able to play. Revealing Winds, 4 cost 2 less to activate. Being Warrior, wake up. Hang on, sorry. Give you guys a second to just figure out what my immediate thoughts were about this. Now, if anyone was actually paying attention at Worlds, you will notice that there was a certain Wind Lorraine deck that was using a certain attack card that effectively, after the first time you play it, you can play it free from your graveyard. Now, that attack card did end the game then and there a few times. Quite often, you're not. You're generally doing like 6 or 7 damage with it. And the main threat behind it is that you can do it every turn over and over and over again. But with this, you just go, I use that attack for that 6, 7, 8 damage. And then, hey, I'm going to continue by paying 2, playing this, waking my champion up, playing that for free from my graveyard again. This, it won't be a 4. I'm saying that right now. There will be a lot of people that don't even play it. But if you want to go heavily into that attack side of that deck and build a deck revolving around that massive attack, this is a good way to go. You don't have Ascension season. You don't think Wind Lorraine's going to do anything this season because the loss of Ascension was the main way we controlled the game state in order to actually proceed on and be able to survive into the late game. But moving forward into future seasons, keep an eye on this card. I do think it will be a 1 or a 2 of in order to actually catch your opponents off with a double attack in a single turn. Frond of the Wind, 4 cost, fast speed. This card costs 1 less to activate Cleric and Tamers. Scavenge 6 for an ally card. Strange. Did we not just see that? Where are you? Here. 3 cost, fast speed. Scavenge 6 for an ally card. If it is a Elysian, draw a card into memory. Scavenge 6. You get an Elysian, it draws a card into memory, but then you also get 6. Did I miss something on this? You have to be this to get class bonus reduction. It comes with 3 cost. It's a melody. That is literally the only difference. It is a melody. Okay. Yep. No, the other one's just better. That's horrible. Safina of the Hope. Target ally gets +2 until end of turn. The next Harmony card you activate this turn costs 2 less to activate. It was all allies get +2 until end of turn to be good. Target ally. Yeah. Strike Tech W. Ally link on enter. If you control link ally, draw a card in memory. If you control the linked ally, draw a card in memory. Pay 1, sacrifice it, return the linked ally to its owner's memory. This doesn't go back to its memory unless you're running the ally that allows you to, when it leaves the field, put everything attached to it into memory. This, I was just thinking of using this with Windmill Engineer. Draw a card in memory, use Windmill. Play this, draw a card of memory to place this, and then return my memory. Thinking this would go back, it doesn't. It's not as good as I thought it would be. It's still decent, and it still allows you to actually save allies out of nowhere. Just as a little backup plan, but it's still good. Tribute Singer, 3 cost, 1/2, level 1+. On enter, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. You may activate a non-advanced element, Harmony, or melee card from among them. Revealed this way. This card costs 3 to activate this way, but the rest revealed on the bottom of your deck in any order. Yeah. If you stack top of your deck with a Harmony Melody, again, I just haven't seen any Harmony Melodies actually worthwhile playing yet. Turbulent Bounty Hunter, 1/3 2 cost, ally. Whenever you're an ally that Turbulent Bounty Hunter has dealt damage to this turn dies, put a buff counter on it. It's not bad. This is a good card. Now, it is pretty weak starting out, but after you get a buff counter on it, it becomes 2/4, and then it just keeps growing, growing, growing. And in Assassin especially, it's not hard to, in a situation where maybe you attack an ally with this, play a Sadi, use that Sadi to kill that ally. This gets buff counter on it, and then you're able to get the effect of Sadi to return 3 cards to your hand at the end of turn. Just being a win-win for everything. Updraft Slice, 2 cost, 2 attack. Warrior Sword, class bonus, this gets +1. Class bonus flow memory. Effectively, yeah. A way to lock the power behind Warrior, that's fine. 3 attack for 2 floating memory in Wind. Of course, we've got the norm version being 2 attack straight. Pretty good. Welcome Merriment. For each player, that player may rest any amount of allies they control. Put a buff counter on each ally rest display. I understand it as a way to get your opponent to tap their allies down so that you're able to attack through or maybe even kill them without your thing dying. It's just not good though. There's a lot better options for buff counters that don't give your opponent choices of buffing their things. Windstrike Soldier, 3 cost. Actually, sorry. Yes, if your opponent already has a bunch of tapped allies and they don't have anything awake, then they can't put the buff counters on them and you can, but you are still having to tap your allies, which makes it just as bad. Windstrike Soldier, 3 cost, 2/3. Good. Class bonus on enter, you may pay 3. If you do, gains multi-stroke 2 until end of turn. Quickly attack for 2 at 3 different targets. Yeah, as long as you've got some other allies on the board to help clean up those targets, then you're going to be pretty good. Withering Shiforzando? 7 cost slow speed. As long as you've activated a melee card, turn it costs 3 less to activate. Still going to be a 4 cost card. Target allies next attack is +6. Yeah, no. Arcane Sight. I really like this artwork. I really hope we get more Looking Glass sights of the sights. Doesn't need to be different cards of the sights with different champions on them. I think the ones we've got are really good, but there are a lot of ones that we are missing that could be even better. I think this Looking Glass sight would be amazing. Arrest Lightning. Prevent X damage to be dealt to target unit this turn. We X amount of stat counters on that unit. Class bonus, element bonus. Pay 1, banish this card from your graveyard. Put a stat counter on target arcane element object you control and each object linked to it. Could end up pretty good. 2 cost, Brooch X Ultra. Linked ally gets +2 and has on attack, banish a card at random from your memory. If you do, draw a card. Yep, if we're able to actually get this onto our arcane units and or our allies in the late game and start doing a lot of these triggers, we could end up with a lot of arcane banishment, which, as we seen from Lorraine, does help. 2 cost, charge static. Put level counters on target arcane element object you control. Dual static counters, sorry. If you've got empowerment of some kind or you're able to buff your level up, it's going to be pretty good. Charge X Ultra. What's this? Brooch X Ultra. Ooh. Charge X Ultra. At the beginning of each player's recollection phase, put a static counter on target object with 1 or more static counters on it. Yeah, just consistent. Every turn you get 1. In a Pantheon game, you're going to be getting multiple. Could be good. All these arcane cards could be good. I'll just say that now. They could be good. It just depends on the meta shape up and how they actually end up being played in those decks. Conductive Strike, 2 cost, 1 attack. Gets plus X weeks the amount of objects you control, 1 more stat counters on them. On hit, you may pay 2. If you do, put a stat counter on each arcane element object you control. Now, this is going to be good. This is going to be playing the deck. This is going to be one of the main ways you go about getting stat counters on all your objects. Coordinator, 1 cost, 2/2. Enters the field with a stat counter on it. Pay 1, banish the card from your graveyard, put a stat counter on target arcane element object you control, and each object linked to it. 1 cost, 2/2 is not bad at all, but being able to actually discard this with something like Grav Shock, and then be able to pay 1 and banish it from your graveyard is pretty good. It's also got element bonus on this. Play Nullifying Mirror and this in the graveyard, you can actually activate this earlier in the game. Don't know if that's going to help or not, but yeah. Induction Strike, 5 cost, 6 attack. Pay 1, banish this card from your graveyard, put a stat counter on target arcane element object you control and each object linked to it. This isn't going to get played. It's too expensive. 6 attack. Let's play Sunsteel. 1 cost, Ionize the X Ultra, non-champion object link. On enter, put 2 stat counters on linked object. Then if there are 4 more stat counters on a draw card in memory, shouldn't be too hard to do that. Ricarda, 7 cost, 3/4. While paying for this card's reserve cost, you may remove up to 4 static counters from among objects you control. Each counter removed this way pays for 1 of that cost. Ends up being a 3 cost, 3/4 with Spell Shroud and Stealth. I mentioned it earlier, Spell Shroud and Stealth is really powerful. If you have a ton of static counter generation, you aren't relying on them as much. And as long as his attacking enchantment gets +4, ends up being 7. This could be a good way to close out games if you have the influence and the static counters to actually do it. Return Stroke, 3 cost, 2 attack. Gets plus level attack, floating memory. Yeah. It being 4 or 5, floating memory. Rolling Chorus, 1 cost, banish up 2 cards from a single graveyard. If the total reserve cost of the banished cards is 15 or greater, draw a card in your memory. I mean, is this just like hard counter CL when he guards his 15 cost things to try and omen them? Maybe. But yeah, I don't know. Could be it's a good way to remove things from graveyards from your opponents, but also you can just do it yourself to get arcane cards. Rumble Coordinator, 3 cost, bigger, gets +1 for each static counter on it. On death, if there were 1 more stat counters on it, draw a card in memory. You get a ton of stat counters on this. This also does a ton of damage. Triple O Electric Fortification. Remove up to 3 static counters from objects you control. Deal X damage to target unit with X amount of counters removed this way. Then put X dribbly counters on a warrior weapon you control. Could be a good way to just close out a game, get a ton of stat counters, and then just effectively shock your opponent's death. Blood Surge, 2 cost, draw a card, plus bonus. Level 5 plus, damage 10 plus, draw a card. Level 9 plus, damage 20 plus, draw a card. Until your turn, you can't draw cards. Effectively just be a draw 3 cards to end the turn. Yeah, not too bad. Devil's Lifeline. I hate zero cost. Why is there so many 0 costs? We've got 0 cost, 0 cost, 0 cost, 0 cost. Ouch. Yep. 0 cost deals up to 7 unpreventable damage to your champion, then scavenge 2 plus X for an X element card where X amount of damage dealt to your champion this way. There are ways in this game that increase the damage that you would take yourself. Hence why it's worded this way. Most of the time it's going to be scavenge 9 for an X element card in an Xia deck like Jin. That's insane. Yes, you could do this in Dante as well, but I think we're going to see this game played in Jin more. Just a way to effectively change this out for another Xia card and get a ton more damage onto you and all close the game out. Elysian Aspirant, Elysian Aura, if an An Neon spell source you control would deal damage to one or more units. Deals that much damage plus one to those units instead. Another effect like the fire ones we saw earlier. On death, you may have Elysian Ash and deal 2 unbelievable damage to your champion. If you do, draw a card. Sweet, I play this out. Get all the effects, whatever. Cremation Ritual this. Have her deal 2 damage to me, and then draw 3 cards. Ends up being another Exercise. Emboric Hemisphere. Hemosynth. Hemosynth. Elysian Aura Spell Shroud Taunt. Fort counter on it, 0-1. 0 cost. Is this good? I mean, it just stops 2 attacks at you. Class Person Mage, so it's only for Dante. Not bad, but I don't see it being great. Pixie side, of course. Yep. Good card. Flux Drain, 5 cost. This costs 3 less to activate. Damage 20 plus, deal level damage to take unit and recover X, which is the amount of damage dealt this way. I saw something about someone getting 3 of these off in a turn, going back to like 0 life and killing their opponent. Pretty insane. Isomic Soldier, whenever you sacrifice it, draw 2 cards into memory. 2 costs 3-4. Don't pass up the fact it's 2 costs 3-4. Pay 2, attack for 3. Gain. Cremation Ritual it. Draw 2 cards in memory, draw 2 cards. Plus 4 from 2 cards. Yep. Plus 2, effectively. And then there's a ton of other ways to sacrifice this as well that would just effectively mean that your opponent would probably going to want to try remove this anyway, so you can just wait for them to waste all their resources killing this, and then in response, sacrifice with something. Judas, 2 costs, 3-4. What's with this 2 costs, 3-4s? Power ramp. Whenever you play a sacrifice an ally, put a buff counter on it. Sweet, so I play the sacrifice, get a buff counter on it, become a 4-5. Sacrifice another ally, Judas grade spell shield. Okay, yep. They're right next to each other, helps us read on. Pass bonus, pay 2, sacrifice an ally, draw a card in memory, and power 2. Sweet, so I can just pay 2, play this out. Attack, pay 2, sacrifice that, draw 3 cards into memory, and power 2, and then attack 4. Yep, pretty good. Perfusive Envelopment. Enters the field with a blood counter on it. Whenever a player sacrifices an ally, put a blood counter on it. At the beginning of your recollection phase, recover X weeks amount of blood counters on this. Yep. If you just play a ton of things out, draw a ton of cards, get a ton of blood counters on this, you could end up in a situation where you're able to recover 10 a turn, I could see. And you're just not going to die in that situation. Who's Eradication? 2 cost, fast speed, deal level plus X damage, target unit, where X is 2 times the amount of leasing object you control. I mean, if you go to level 3 and you're able to play 2 or 3 of these out with your other leasing objects, you're going to be dealing probably 7-8 damage pretty easily, plus whatever else empowerment you get. Spell sheet X here. 4 cost, fast speed, cost 2 less to activate for cleric and mage. Thank God, Jin doesn't get the 2 cost on this. The next time damage will be dealt to your champion this turn, prevent that damage and recover X instead, where X is the amount of damage permitted this way. I feel like Jin's still going to play this because this is kind of gross. Just being like, I pass turn with 32 life and my shield on me, so I can't die. And your opponent goes, sweet, I in turn fireball you for 50. Sweet, I'll recover all my life instead, and good luck killing me now. 1 cost, Thanatonic Hemosynth. Releasing Aura, on enter, target an Eden spell in your graveyard gains ephemeral X, where X is the card's reserve cost. Yep. Sweet, I play this, deal a ton of damage. Then I follow up and play this. That gains ephemerate. Well, ephemerate 2. Play it again. Yeah, this deck's going to get very stupid very fast. I don't think he's going to get to level 4 because he's going to kill his opponents before then. Umbilical Ritual. There's an additional cost to activate this. Sacrifice an ally. Recover 4 and power 4. Yep. Unruled Bereavement. 4 cost slow speed, class bonus. As long as your champion has leveled up this turn, this card costs 2 less to activate. Until end of turn, whenever an ally dies, and power 2. Level 7 plus, deal 3 damage to all allies. Well, there's the ball clear for your opponent's allies, as well as all your little allies that then give you the Empower 2 effect off of them. Varicose Amplification, 2 cost fast speed class bonus for a mage. Whenever an amount of damage is dealt to your champion, you may put that blood counters on it. At the beginning of your main phase, sacrifice amplification and empower 3 plus X weeks amount of blood counters on this. I could see it where you just play this out at the beginning of your recollection or whatever, and then you go ahead and you play something like Healer's Lifeline, deal effectively 9 damage to yourself, get another Exia card off the top of your deck, and then suddenly you've got 9 counters on this, and then move to your main phase. At the beginning of it, sacrifice Empower X plus X amount of blood counters on this. So you're going to be empowering 12 effectively, allowing you to then go straight away into this. Use Eradication for 15, 16 damage, maybe more, just depends. Yep, pretty damn gross. I feel like this artwork doesn't quite match with the rest of these XD cards in the set, but yep. Scular Collapse. Choose one, destroy target non-champion object, 2 cost fast speed. Great. Give Jin and Dante more ways to destroy your things. Level 9 plus, destroy 2 non-champion objects. Level 15 plus, destroy all non-champion objects. You got nothing on your board and your opponent's got a massive board. You're about to lose everything. And it doesn't target, so it's just a resolution effect. So yeah, there's no way for a lot of decks to stop this. Wow. Powerforge Burst. Neos. We got 2 Neos cards. Weird that they only gave 2 Neos cards, and yeah. I know we've got more coming in next set, but yeah. 0 cost, Powerforge Burst. As additional cost, activate this card, sacrifice X Power Cell items. X can't be more than 3. Deal 2 damage to target unit X times, and if X is 3, draw a card in memory. Deal 6, draw a card in memory after losing 3 Power Cells to 0. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's like all Neos cards, eh? They kind of feel a little bit okay, but underpowered in reality. Production Crawl Droid. I need to summon 2 Power Cell tokens, 3 costs, 3, 4. Again, like you've got all these Exia things, 2 costs, 3, 4, 2 costs, 3, 4. All these good abilities on them as well. And they're Neos, they just go, yeah, you can have a 3 drop, 3, 4. Yeah, you get 2 Power Cell tokens. But yeah, you can activate straight away to make this attack for 7. But it still feels really underpowered compared to a lot of, especially Exia stuff in the set. I'm actually a little bit afraid of Exia this set. It's gonna buff things up a lot. I feel like Dante might not quite be there in terms of consistency to kill. Jin's definitely gonna be very scary. But yeah, like just a lot of the stuff, like the amplification with the eradication, it just and spell shield, of course, just feels gross. And it's going to be a very interesting time coming up as we slowly develop a meta. And I don't know if Luxem's going to be that great anymore. I thought Luxem might still be good in this new meta just because the loss of Ascension and Dragon. But I might be a little bit slow for Dante now. We'll see. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below to let me know your thoughts on the new set. Until next time, stay safe.